September, week 5. We're trading the final week of the month and of Q3 2022. All trades through Wednesday of this week will settle in September and Q3. Trades on Thursday and Friday are going to settle in October and the start of Q4. We also have a holiday. The market's not closed, but a holiday this week, Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, starts on Monday, and that follows through into Yom Kippur on October 5th. And we usually see the market kind of dry up in volume and tend to kind of sell off during this time. The typical late September, early October lows for the market sometimes we see get made during this time period. And then just sort of like a mysterious kind of rally back that starts after Yom Kippur. And this year that falls on October 5th. So let's keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to start this right away on Monday. We could see a little bit of an attempt to rally on Monday and have that cut off at the knees and then that selling begin. And I do believe once that selling begins, it's going to take us on through into the first few trading days of October. Let's start off looking at the intraday chart of Friday. Friday, we had a gap down open. There was a couple of news pieces that were going on overnight on Friday. The UK cut corporate taxes on Friday, and the market did not receive that well because inflation is just absolutely raging over in Europe and especially in the UK, and the market saw that as just fueling that fire even further. So there was that. And then also Goldman Sachs came out with a report where they said, they're cutting their year-end forecast. I think it was from 4,300 or 4,800 or something to all the way down to 3,600, which would be below our current 2022 low for the year-end forecast, and that the market could sink another 16% below the current low, before all is said and done. So the market kind of got double spooked by that. And we wound up with this gap down open, selling off by the end of the day down to a fresh new September low at 36.47, but that was a good solid hold above the current 2022 low. And then we saw this rally to end the day. This was likely just a short covering rally because of those holidays next week. A lot of people aren't going to be around. They're taking some time off. So this could have just been short covering in the face of that. Just money coming off the table covering their short bets. So we could see a continuation lower on Monday, or if this was more than just a little bit of short covering, maybe we see another little attempt to go higher on Monday. And if that is the case, we have a clear line in the sand up here at Thursday's close, 37.57.99. Let's look for a print and hold of 37.58. Keep that level in mind. If we get a print and hold of 37.58, I believe we'll go after 3,800 on the day. If we just, kind of fizzle out and continue the selling on Monday instead, or if we make it to 37.58, fail and start to sell off right from there, we're looking towards Friday's low first and foremost. If that holds, then maybe we're going to try and build the September low here, at least for the next 3 days while the trades count in the month of September. Maybe we're going to try to build this as the September low, 36.47. If this breaks, then we have the current 2022 low set in June at 36.36 and change. And if that breaks, we are at a new low for the year, and we could really see the selling accelerate. Let's take a look at where things would go if things did kind of accelerate. And one more thing about what was going on Friday with that end of the day rally. I told you in the morning that the bear fork median line was coming in at 36.86 and change on Friday. And sure enough, we sold off below that. But look at how this rally back at the end of the day got back here to close at 36.93 on the day and a close back above the median line of this bear fork. Maybe this is a signal that we can put a little bit more pointage on the board here, by closing back above this median line. But if we come in Monday and we start fizzling around here and break this median line again, it's going to sink a little lower than 36.86. Maybe it's around 36.80 flat, 36.82 to 36.80. If that all breaks, then we go on and challenge Friday's low, and if that breaks, we challenge the 2022 low. If we break the 2022 low, the next stop below us Obviously 3600, 3580, playing our 80 handle rule, but at 3575, we have the minus 25% off mark for the year. And if that breaks, then we have this major halfway back point at 3505. We discussed these levels at great length earlier in the year. This halfway back point, halfway back between the March 2020 low, that was the COVID low, from where a huge rally started that took us to an all-time high in 2022, set this year, the midpoint between those two levels is 3505, plus the 3500 handle, plus the 80 handle rule kind of moves in there with that 3500. That's kind of like when we get to the 50 level in the 80 handle rule. If 3500 doesn't hold, we could really see that Goldman Sachs prediction come true, and we sell off quite a bit further. Plus, it's a halfway back to that March 2020 low. I'm not saying we go all the way back there, but we certainly would take a deep dive below 3,500 if it breaks and this halfway back point breaks. So that's the downside. If we were to bounce a little on Monday, make it through that 3750 level, go after 3,800, our nemesis here is going to be the 10-day simple moving average. As you can see, we broke it on September 13th, and every single rally has failed at it ever since. So if we make it over 3,800, I think our 10 days probably going to be around the 3850s or so, maybe 3860. That's going to be your maximum point of rally, I think. I think we'll probably fail again at the 10-day if we even get that far, and that's where you can buy some puts for the likely break to a new 2022 low and to eventually go after this 3505 level. And you could buy yourself some time on those puts, or you can play them with the same day expiration and just keep reloading each day, however you want to play it. But watch out for 3758. That'll get us to 3,800, and over 3,800, when we look to the 10-day and we look to buy some puts on a failure at the 10-day. If we make it through the 10-day, we'll discuss that when and if we get there, but I don't think we will. I think it'll just be a show, we'll fail, and then we'll sell off again, because seasonally we do sell off at this point in the year during these holidays that are on deck this week and into the following week. Looking at the roadmap, you can see a little closer look here at where that 10-day simple moving average is. You can see that we filled this gap here to this close back in July that came to us the day after the low was set. So that gap is filled. Maybe some work is done and we can get a bounce to the 10-day. But once we get there, if we can't close above it, we've got to reload and get short again. Okay, let's take a look at our indicators. Oil. Oil fell down to 78 bucks on Friday, and it ended the week closing under 80. That is bullish for the market. However, over here on VIX futures, we see that we rallied up to, over 30 on VIX futures, hitting 31, falling back for a dip below 30 into the afternoon. But look at this, futures were rising while we were rallying into that close into the end of the day. So that just sort of adds to the thesis that all that was short covering, because the VIX was rising with the price rising, which is not bullish at all. If we look at our friend Apple as an indicator, and we're going to go positive again here, you can see that Apple really just kind of rallied back at the end of the day here, ended up closing out the week at 150, which is very bullish. It's a good indicator for the overall market as long as Apple holds a close at 150. The S&P can hold itself together as well. Something interesting here, this is an Apple daily chart in close-up. Look at what's going on here with Apple. Apple was headed for a major bullish buy signal with the 50-day about to cross up through the 200-day, and they were both rising until this sell-off kind of kicked in back here on September 12th. And in the midst of this sell-off, what it has done is sort of fended off the 50-day, turned it flat, stopped it from crossing up through the 200-day, and the 200-day has begun to slope and fall as well. All it's going to take is for a rally to spark up in Apple, and this is all going to turn around. You're going to see this golden cross happen when the 50-day rises back up through the 200-day. Lots of institutions are going to get on board and buy Apple, and Apple could lead the whole market in a rally. However, I don't know that this is going to happen on Monday or Tuesday or anything like that. We could see Apple just kind of chop here, maybe even sell up a little lower. You can see I've drawn a bear fork on it as well. It could sell up down to its bear fork median, but I do believe this will be the #1 stock that gets bought back in October when these holidays are over and everybody comes back to work and we start that end of the year rally. Apple will be a major stock to be owned by institutions, and this cross will take place and it'll help lead the whole market higher. Okay, final thing I want to look at and show you is the option volume. I'm just going to show you what's going on with the Monday expiration. You can go on your own and look at others. Big volume here at the 3650 puts, 12,000 traded on Friday. Went out the door at 13 bucks. If we continue a little bit of a rally or we come in flat on Monday, you look at the price of these, see if it holds 11 bucks. If it does, that's a good signal that we are just going to fall back again. And maybe you want to load up on these 3650s, because if we're going to fall back and go down to a new low on Monday below 36.36, you can do the math here on that strike. These are going to make a lot of money. On the other hand, if we are going to put some more points on the board and go after 37.58 on Monday instead to start off our rally towards the 10-day, you can see that the 37.50 calls held the $8 window. If these are still holding the $8 window on Monday, or even if they fall a little but hold the $5 window, this is going to be a good signal to get in here on these for that rally to 3,800 on Monday that maybe continues a little further on Tuesday, but then fails and we fall backwards. Okay, so hope that all makes sense. Hope this video helps you out. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. As always, good luck and good trading.